I'm known for despising James Dolan with a fury of 1,000 suns.
Yeah, sure.
And it's well documented. When Charles Oakley got dragged out of Madison Square Garden, and Dolan didn't lift a finger as his security henchmen were pulling Charles Oakley out of the garden, and Phil Jackson got out of his seat at least to go see what was going on with Charles before he was left overnight to rot. That was the end of it. I'm like, you know what? I love sports and I love this team, and Bernard King is my guy, and Patrick Ewing was my guy, and I grew up with the end of the Red Holtzman era with Rory Sparrow, Michael Ray Richardson, going to Madison Square Garden, growing up there, going with my buddies. My parents took me to a Christmas Day game. My brother and I mean, my parents very rarely. My dad wasn't much of a sports guy at all. Took me to go to a Christmas Day game. Remember Trent Tucker on Martin Luther King Day, where they read anytime that they came up with a rule that you need to have a certain amount of time on the clock to get a shot off. That was born out of one of my favorite Knicks moments of all time. So I say all that to say this, that it gives me no pleasure to see them sucking. And I have, from a distance this year, gotten more and more emotionally involved in the team. I have been. I mean, how do you not look at somebody like Julius Randle and what he has become? A bona fide MVP candidate, which obviously I don't think you can give to somebody who's 8 games over 500. Although we're thinking of giving it to Steph, and he's now 3 games over 500 with another dynamite performance, beating Utah last night. Look out, here come the Warriors and Steph Curry.
Taking out LeBron.
Okay, I know that's what you think is going to happen.
He wants that so bad.
I know.
So bad.
So, well, actually, they can't take out LeBron. They can only send LeBron to have to win against the Grizzlies or the Spurs.
Right.
And the Spurs came up with a nice win last night themselves, as it looks like the Pelicans aren't making this play-in tournament. But, seeing Julius Randle become what he has become in New York has been quite something, certainly since he wears the number of my favorite Knick of all time, and Bernard King. And that number matches the number of losses that they have, which is remarkable because it used to be the number 30, a number of wins we'd be shooting for the Knicks. And the Knicks are the 4th seed in the East. And the Hawks, who had a dynamite game against the Wizards, and congratulations to Russell Westbrook, the all-time triple-double king. And he's gotten that mark in the last couple of weeks with some triple-doubles that have, one of them was all 20s plus points, rebounds, and assists. And last night he was 20 plus on assists and points and 13 rebounds. I mean, he is unbelievable. The Knicks have earned their spot. And tonight, they come into Los Angeles against the Lakers with the same record as the defending world champs, 38-30. And they come in with a Coach of the Year candidate, Tom Thibodeau. I think you can.
Oh, he's winning that.
I don't know about that. You have to look at Monty Williams and the Suns, brother.
Yeah, for sure.
Why not Quinn Snyder and the Utah Jazz?
Not the Knicks, though.
I know
man.
there's the Knicks.
Like the Suns, and they weren't
get it.
laughing stocks.
I don't think the Knicks have still earned the right of, we're the Knicks.
No, but I'm saying
right now, what the Knicks have done right now.
They won 17 games a couple years ago.
What the Knicks have done right now have earned themselves with the higher register of LeBron's tweet that he sent out a couple weeks ago. Hey, the league's better when the Knicks are good. That's what they've earned. The league is better when the New York Knicks are good. Yeah, I just don't go higher register. I don't do that. But Julius Randle coming back tonight in this spot, in this place, the franchise that traded him away, and what he has become for the Knicks, and what the Knicks have done with their drafts. R.J. Barrett has become fun watch. Emmanuel Quickley is just one of my favorite players. And then you had Derrick Rose coming back. Obviously, his first stint there wasn't very successful. Coming back, and he's finding a renaissance here. I know Anthony Davis has been playing his leg off, and LeBron will be at whatever percentage of LeBron if he does play tonight. I'll say this. Even though I said I wasn't worried about the Lakers getting out of that play-in game. Knicks coming tonight, the better team. And I know I went higher register, but they come in tonight, the better team. They played more consistent basketball lately. Now, I don't want to hear about injuries. Everybody's got injuries. They come in tonight, the better team, with a better shot to go further in the playoffs than the other 38-30 team. I understand 38-30 is good enough for a play-in game in the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference. You're right there in the middle of the pack. I don't know. I just don't know. It's a big game for the Lakers tonight because they've got Houston, Indianapolis, and New Orleans. Those are all winnable games for somebody that normally would beat teams that they should beat. And Portland had their winnable game last night, and they blew the door. They didn't blow it, by the way, against Houston. At Utah, at Phoenix, home for Denver. That's a tough stretch. Lakers need this one tonight. Mm-hmm. They need this one tonight. Otherwise, they'll fall 2 back in the loss column and 2 games behind the Blazers with those 3 to play.
That would be awful.
And they don't want to dip to 9.
They don't. No, they don't. You know what I mean? So this is a big game tonight in Los Angeles. And it used to be so special for me as a Knicks fan when the Knicks were in Los Angeles to take on the Lakers. So special. New York at L.A.
Randall's going to what? At least 40 tonight, right? He's trying to get 50,
well,
maybe?
you know he's going to try and really stick it to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and I know it's crazy that I need to remind a certain age group about Knicks and Lakers about the 60s and the 70s and what that meant. Mm-hmm. Jerry West was the logo, right? And the Knicks were winning championships or attempting to. But the Lakers' renaissance as a certain age group, I guess we'll find out in a soon-to-come Showtime show where I do believe Pat Riley, is he being played by Adrian Brody?
Adrian Brody.
Oh, my gosh.
Black hand.
So you'll find out, again, that Pat Riley was front and center of the rebirth of the Lakers organization that had went ahead and then turned in one generational player on the team after another, all the way through to, you know, other than that small part between Kobe and LeBron, had one every single generation, it seemed, right?
I like it.
But Riley then left to go try and do it for the Knicks. But, of course, you know, that was before Dolan came in, and Riley, I think, read the writing on that wall. And faxed in his resignation to be known as Pat the Rat in New York.
Is that what they called him?
Oh, yes. Pat the Rat is what he was called. But, you know, I can't imagine that he didn't read the writing on the Dolan wall and say,
I'm out of here.
I'd like to go chit-chat with Mickey Arison and go down to Miami and set up shop where he's now, as we all know.
I'm going to go on a carnival
behind
cruise.
that curtain as well. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.